Furiosa. It's a prequel to Mad Max Fury Road, which is one of my favorite films of all time. Certainly one of my favorite films of this century. Why don't you give us a little plot synopsis of Furiosa?
Furiosa, I mean, it's right there in the title. Like, this is the saga of how the surprise breakthrough badass played by Charlize Theron in Fury Road became who she was. This truly is an origin story, starting with her as a child, growing up in one of the few, what do they call it? A place of
A place of abundance.
yeah, all the way up until she, falls in with the Citadel and Immortan Joe, how she loses her arm, how she learns to drive the Fury Road. It is a traditional origin story. It's not as bombastic as Fury Road, and there's a little bit too much reliance on digital effects, whereas Fury Road was mostly done with a strong balance and even favoritism toward practical. But I still thoroughly enjoyed it, especially Chris Hemsworth as Dementis. Oh my God, he was a lot of fun. You see this guy play Thor for over a decade. You're used to seeing him play, heroes and heartthrobs. So to see him be this vainglorious, insane, self-described messianic figure is just a delight. Just to see him go so far against type and lean into every second of it, I just loved.
He was impressive. I thought performances all the way around were really good. I don't have anything against Anna Taylor-Joy, but I just don't think she's Charlize Theron. Like, Charlize Theron in Fury Road is special, and I don't know that this performance kind of matches up to that performance. And of course, it's George Miller. It's like a really well-made movie. The part that got me were the action scenes. When the action kicks in, when she's like underneath that truck, even as a kid, when they go to the bullet farm and Gas Town, the paragliders and all. I mean, like, George Miller's really taking this to a new level. And, he's like a grandpa. He's like 75 years old. And he was a doctor. He was like a for real, like, medical doctor before he even became a director. Like, this guy has had multiple lives. But I don't know. I think you're kind of tempting fate when you do a prequel to something like this. And my question is, did we need this movie?
Hard to say, though, since you mentioned that he was a doctor, now I'm kind of fantasizing about a world where he and Ken Jeong do a show called Diagnosing Movies. Because they're both former medical professionals. I do love Anya Taylor-Joy. She's one of my favorite actresses. And she's a goddess who walks this earth. I would swim through sulfuric acid for one date with her. I don't care.
What struck me was I'm just now able to sort of put it into words, is I felt like we were watching Anna Taylor-Joy cosplay Furiosa, like, especially at the end.
Yes and no. I mean, it wasn't needed from the pure standpoint of, unless we're going to continue doing sequels with this character, we really don't need to know her backstory. We just know that she is awesome, and that's good enough. But I'll give Miller credit. He wrote a screenplay's worth of backstory for the character when he was pitching it to Charlize Theron over a decade ago. So the material was already there. So given the audience response to the character, given how long this was in development held, because he was insisting that we tell the story right, I'm certainly more than okay with what we got. Because this was more of a triumph of the auteur over the studio. The fact that this had to get shopped around and so many different hands had their fingers in the proverbial soup. It's like, no, he wrote this story. He created this character. He created a whole universe around her so that if she became a fan favorite, which she did, then he can pay that off. So this wasn't something hastily thrown together as a cash grab. I mean, Fury Road was 10 years ago. So in that respect, was it needed? No. Is it appreciated? Yes.
I don't know. I thought it was not bad. I felt like it was a little bit long, and at one point I thought we were going to see this child grow up in like real time. I know people just wanted more of this story. I don't know where we go from here with Mad Max, or if we go anywhere at all. Like, do we want to see another Tom Hardy Mad Max movie with whatever accent he's decided to do, and grunting? Like, are we? Because it wouldn't make sense for Charlize Theron, that character, to be in a next Mad Max. So, like, if we didn't do this, what will we do?
This is the BTRP Media Network.